Today, the Wichita School Board holding a news conference to address its announcement of possible school closures. That decision made last night during a Board of Education
The
meeting.
district is recommending closures of Clark, Cleveland, Payne, and Park Elementary Schools, along with Hadley and Jardine Middle School. 12 News reporter Julia Doctrey spoke to district leaders today following this press conference. Julia, what did you find out?
Rachel, district leaders say that these possible closures are needed to address budget issues. Right now, there is a $42 million hole due to the loss of pandemic-era funding and declining enrollment. These closures could impact roughly 2,000 students. District leader says that this decision was not an easy one.
Part of the decision we're making now is to solve a short-term budget, issue for next year and a staffing issue, to put people before places.
To put people before places, that is the motto the Wichita Public School District is using to help families understand why it's recommending closures of 4 elementary and 2 middle schools across the district. Superintendent Kelly Bielefeld says these schools were selected due to overall cost to maintain those buildings, staffing shortages, as well as low and declining enrollment.
Since COVID, we've been down, I think, 0.6% a year on average. So it's not as though, we're just kids are fleeing or, we're losing a bunch of enrollment.
Some parents are worried about how this will impact their kids getting to and from school. School board president Stan Reeser says he will deal with these issues regarding bus transportation on a case-by-case basis. He says overall the use of school buses is down.
But I've seen the change in the neighborhood of less school children and more parents dropping off as opposed to students being bused in or students walking to school.
Reeser says the district is planning for a possible decline in enrollment due to these potential closures. However, the district wants families to trust in their decision.
We hope every family chooses us. That's our vision as a district, is to be the premier district of choice. So we want people to choose us.
These areas will be reassigned to new schools in the district. Parents will also have the option to request a special school transfer. No staff member will lose any employment during this transition.
Thank you, Julia. A public hearing to discuss the possible closures will be held at 6 p.m. February 29th. That's at the Alvin E. Morris Administrative Center. A final decision will be made during a March 4th vote.